Hi, this is Critical Minds. Sorry for the lame opening. Anyway, welcome to the first show on this channel. As I hope you can tell, on the show I will be reviewing and analyzing Law and Order. This episode I will be starting with SVU Season 1, Episode 1. So let's jump right in. Alright, so our episode starts with an air shot over the taxi, which is, of course, our crime scene. You've got the rain pouring, it's dark outside, you got sirens blaring, making it seem like a serious, something serious is going down here, right? So, they're kind of just throwing us in on here, how crimes kind of just happen, and it's a serious thing, you can't just, ignore it. It can't just be, a little side thing on the thing. If that makes any sense. I'm not really making sense right now. Leave me alone, it's my first episode. Anyway. You got Olivia Benson and you got Elliot Stabler. They walk on in. Olivia goes first, which I think is really cool. But mainly in the sense that I feel like at the time that this was recorded, when the show first went into air, I feel like women weren't necessarily seen as the number one detective. It was more like a man's world back then. So I feel like this show wanted to make a statement saying, hey, this isn't, one of the men's world kind of shows. No. Women are in charge. They can do shit, and I like that. I mean, the rest of the show is going to piss me off later, but then you also have to remember this is late 90s, it's kind of not that great, but they get better. This show gets better, I swear, for all you newcomers watching the show, it gets better. You just got to push through it. But, I do appreciate that they started off with a little bit of a statement like that, making sure that you understand that both Elliot and Olivia are equal to this investigation. And they do that a lot throughout this show, actually. Alright, so on to the dead body. Okay, you got a dead white male, 30 multiple stab wounds. He got $40 on him or something. And get this, sliced off hot dog. Nah, I'm not gonna be using terms like that like they do in the show because they like to censor things. It's really weird. I'm like, just call it a penis. I don't understand why it's a big problem or a big deal to say penis. Just say penis. I mean, yes, the jokes can get funny at times, and yes, it is kind of funny seeing people a little bit awkward and squeamish about it, but at the same time, if this is a police investigation, you're gonna need to talk about analytical parts of the body. Which, I get it, it's late 90s, people are still weird about it, and the show is already doing sex crimes. They don't want to, throw it out, throw it all out there and then get canceled. That would have sucked. But, later on, they get more, scientific with their terms, when it comes to at least legality and whatever. But, so anyway, this guy's got his penis chopped off, and we're like, what? What's gonna happen with this dude's penis? And all I can say is that I think it's really interesting that they start the first episode of a sex crime unit with a male victim instead of it being a female victim, because everybody, when you really think about rapists, you think of men raping women. You don't really think of it the other way around. But at the same time, it doesn't necessarily mean that this guy was raped. His penis was just chopped off. And it's it's interesting because it's showing you, the beginnings of what really sort of goes on in the sex crime unit. Kind of telling you, it's not just, actual sex. It can just be sexual related things. It can be someone molesting somebody. It can be somebody, kidnapping somebody. It can be someone, it can be things that are more than just violence. Things that have more to it than just shooting somebody. It's a little bit more than that. You can see from what's happened in this crime scene is that, there's a guy in this taxi seat who's got his penis chopped off. Now, why would somebody take somebody's penis? Obviously for some sort of personal reason. You don't just chop off random dudes' penises, do you? No. You would honestly ask yourself, why would you cut off a dude's penis? What would it be for? What do you perceive the penis to be? That is something personal, something most likely sexual, or at least in a negative sexual way, because, sexuality doesn't have to be negative. But it's a nice way to open this show, tell us that this isn't just some ordinary show, this isn't just, oh, this one guy raped this one chick, we gotta figure out who it is. No, it's like a big universe of new crimes that you've never even heard of, and it's fun. It gets you interested. I will say that. It gets you interested. I mean, like, if you're flipping through the channels and you hear this guy talking about this guy's penis chopped off, you want to know who did it, right? Or at least you'd be disgusted to some point. So, Elliot and Olivia are looking at each other. They always wonder why they're referred to this case, But then, as soon as they hear somebody tells them that, the penis is chopped off, they're like, okay, I guess that's why you brought us in. Because, the whole unit isn't like, they don't just get called out for anything, They get called out or referred to by other precincts that feel like their needs are more, are more useful here. You've got, you can always get like a kidnapped kid or something, and the precinct in the area will be called, but they're like, look, man, I don't know how to deal with missing kids, so they bring in SVU. And that's why I like the show, because, you get to see more of New York, and you get to see more of, different kinds of people, different kinds of police precincts. You get to see how everybody operates. So anyway, when the cop tells them, that this is a sex crime, the way that Olivia and Elliot look at each other, it's kind of in that sort of, like, best friend kind of way. They've obviously known each other, and I like the fact that, you already have this established relationship between them, so you don't have to go through the whole channels of them meeting new people, because that can be really annoying in the beginning of a show, but it's already established here, You've already got, from this one look, you can tell that they've at least worked with each other for a couple of months, like a decent amount of time. From that look, you can see that they obviously have some sort of inside jokes, they have a certain way of interrogating people, that they work well together. And it's well executed that you can get all of that out of just like one look. And it's great, it cuts down on time. You can get right into the story, you can get right into why this dude's penis is gone, that's why I'm here, right? That and, the relationship that they have. But I will also appreciate the fact that they don't try to make it seem like it's some sort of like more than friendship kind of thing. Because I was really afraid that they were going to shove two, detectives together. It was like, oh, there's a male detective and a female detective. They must be together. I really don't want to have that in my show. I mean, like, can I just have like a man and a woman just be friends with each other? Just for a minute. Can I just have that, And that's why SVU was so great, is because they have a lot of those sort of relationships in the show. You have like a dude and like a chick, and they're friends, nothing else. And I'm like, yes, because that's how a lot of people are. You can have friends of opposite sex with the same sexuality as you. You can do that. But, we don't usually get that often. And this show was, it's like a breath of fresh air for me, So anyway, here comes the, opening credits. For the first time, for everybody who's seeing this for the first time, these opening credits are, like, really, like, let's not lie here. If you're seeing this for the first time, it's kind of boring, but, like, in a, like, adult kind of way. Like, if you're, like, younger than, like, 25, and you hear this for the first time, you're just gonna get flashbacks of you staying home from school, sitting on the couch with your mama, watching Law and Order because she ain't letting you watch nothing else. Because you're not at home to relax. You're at home to get better because you didn't skip school and pretend to be sick. That's totally not what you did. But the sound of Law and Order is just like blaring through your brain. Like, oh my God, these boring school days, right? But it's more like after you keep watching this show, the more you love this show, the more hyped you get when you hear this song. Like, this song can start playing, like, from another room, and I will just, like, perk up off the couch, like, ooh, is this SVU? And I start walking around, and I'm like, da-na-na-na-na-na-na, you know what I mean? And I'm just walking, and I'm, like, doing some weird dance, it's kind of like one of those, like, floating pies, and I'm starting, trancing my way over there or some shit. It's like a calling card for this show. It's in capturing, I don't think that's a word, but it's like, it's great. You know, it hypes you up for this show. And I love it a lot. And like the pictures that they chose, though grainy as hell as they are, because this is before they had HD TV, you know, they're interesting snapshots of each character. You know, it's like a quick glimpse of who they kind of are. And like, I will have to admit, they tried to make Olivia look as like cute as possible in this opening. And I'm just like, okay, I get it. You need to get views, but come on, you know, but what else are they going to do? They're going to have to keep this. And can I just say, Captain Kragen, I swear to God, I feel like, I have to confirm this later, but I think he uses the same photo from like start to finish. Like from the very beginning of the show to when he leaves, I think that's literally like the whole time he's using the same photo. And I'm like, I mean, I know you didn't really age that much considering you're always bald, but can we get an updated snapshot, please? No? Fine. But whatever. Anyway, the last part of that opening is when they're running through, not running, I guess they're kind of quick speed walking through this door. You know, it kind of looks like they've just got a lead on some rapist or some shit, and they're like about to go out and capture him. And it's interesting because in this first episode, it's like kind of like all the other crime dramas where they're kind of running out trying to get somebody in the last part of the credits. And I get it, you know, it's a genre, you gotta throw it in there. But what I like about the show is that as I guess the show's consciousness and wokeness kind of came about over the past couple of years, it kind of changes. You know, instead of them running for the suspect, it's like they're already in the squad room waiting for you. Like in SVU, a lot of the times you get victims or survivors sometimes, and even rapists themselves come into the squad room to talk to them. And it's like the whole point that they're trying to portray in these later openings of SVU is a whole sense of, hey, we're here for you. You know, we're always here for you. You can come down to the station. We can talk to you. And it's not always the rapist victims. It's not always survivors. It's not always, you know, someone trying to help somebody else. Sometimes it's the rapist. Sometimes it's the criminal that comes in. You know, do they know it? Maybe, maybe not. Are they trying to set some stuff up? Maybe, maybe not. We don't know. A lot of the times, it's them trying to come to terms with their own demons. And they come in there and they're like, look, man, I think I might do something crazy. And then I'm like, ooh, this is really interesting, you know? And I like those episodes too, because it's like a nice little twist to start your day, if you get what I mean. Like a little twist of lime in your SVU tea. Wait, people put lime in tea? Doesn't matter. Anyway, I think it's cool. Alright, in this opening scene, you've got everybody in the squad room, and it's kind of like a wide shot of everybody, I guess. And you've got phones ringing, chatter, people walking around. It's a busy squad room, because, you know, people gotta do their jobs. There's a lot of jobs going on in this. It's not just, you know, our main two detectives. And then you kind of see another, like 3 other detectives throughout this scene, and I'll get to them in a second. But it's interesting that, you know, when you first watch this show, you're kind of in the world of Elliot and Olivia. But then once you get to the squad room, you see everybody else. You know, you need to understand that, you know, it's not just Olivia and Elliot. They have other people in their lives too. They have other people in this squad. It's more than just a 2-person kind of thing. And, you know, the whole scene kind of starts off with Captain Kragen is talking to Elliot and Olivia, like, where the hell is my autopsy? I need to know how this man died, you know. Then on comes in, I cannot believe I forgot her name, and it'd be really great if people in the comments would tell me, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to remember in like 3 minutes anyway. The black lady detective, you know, she walks over and is like talking about the investigation or whatever, and she's walking towards John, and John is like, he kind of likes his conspiracy theories, but in the beginning, he's kind of a real douchebag. Like, I'm talking about, like, the kind of douchebag that's, like, super sexist, and you kind of want to just slap. Like one of your, like, douchebag bosses that likes to talk shit about women, but you're like, I still need to get paid, so you ignore it. But anyway, he says something along the lines of, like, your study that you've been talking about this case for is super, like, biased to some shit. You know, she replies sarcastically, but what's interesting is that he replies back with a genuine statement. Like, he doesn't want to be taken as just the jokes guy, you know. He also has genuine facts that he feels like people need to know about. And it's like, John, I hate you, but why you always gonna come here with these annoying ass facts that may or may not be true? You know, it's like, damn, he has sources and shit. You know, he's like the worst kind of boss that's a dick about it. But at the same time, you know for a fact that he's using the facts that help out with whatever he's thinking about. Because, you know, he's still a conspiracy theory kind of dude. And you still gotta take him that way, because he a little crazy. I mean, let's not lie here. He a little crazy. Like, scary, man. Whoa, I didn't realize that this video has gone on for so long, and that's only been, like, the first, 3 minutes of this episode. I'm gonna take this as a part 1, and you can go to the next video, and that'll be part 2. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please press the like button, and if you would like to see more like this, please press the subscribe button, and feel free to leave me some feedback considering it's my first episode. I'm really glad you guys watched, hope you enjoyed it, and I guess come back again if you really like this kind of stuff. Monique Jeffries, that was her name. God, that took me so freaking long to remember.